Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, I'm going to provide a preview of the topics we'll talk about at the upcoming Wind Summit event in Houston, Texas on October 14th and 15th. Well, after the resounding success of the event held in Melbourne, Australia earlier this year, the team's back to bring you exciting presentations and in depth panel discussions on all things operations and maintenance. We're going to kick things off with a one-on-one chat with Daniel DuPont, the president and CEO of North American independent service provider Renewable. We'll take a look at some of the hottest topics that wind energy asset owners need to know. First and foremost on the list is for owners that are used to requalifying their projects for production tax credits, how do they operate their portfolio now? Will asset life extension bridge a gap to more production tax credits that we hope will be reinstated by 2029? Does the industry still require production tax credit revenue to be able to afford a repower? How much will increasing PPA prices in the USA make up for a lack of production tax credit revenue? And for projects that have not yet seen a net positive return on capital during the asset's lifetime, but they're hoping to repower anyway due to mechanical performance that's tailing off, what type of capital requirements will financiers have to put in place to accommodate that scenario? Specifically, how much residual debt will a bank allow you to refinance for a new loan to be able to repower your project? This is actually going to be a critical topic for asset owners in the United States moving forward. Next, we'll get into lightning damage with a panel moderated by Alan Hall from WeatherGuard Lightning Tech. For those that don't know, lightning damage has become the number one cause of on-site repairs and the number one cost center for any wind turbine repairs. We'll dive into what can be done to mitigate the cost of this type of damage. That includes the proactive actions that owners can take to safeguard your wind farms from unnecessary OPEX spend on lightning repairs. We'll have a presentation from our friends at DWT on getting access to spare parts. Experts in procurement are going to be on hand to talk through the challenges related to maintaining inventory and open supply lines in an era of high raw material costs, high component costs, as well as tariffs. You will definitely want to be in attendance for the operator's keynote panel. We'll have 4 executives from 4 different owners talk through some of their most pressing challenges, including who knows your assets best, you or the OEM. We'll dig into critical issues on access to the data that asset owners need to make decisions on operations and maintenance, including tips for how to structure supply contracts to ensure they don't have to spend a ton of extra money to retrofit sensors or replace SCADA after an OEM warranty period expires. Additionally, transparency and collaboration are 2 of the most sought after items between asset owners and OEM service agreement holders. But how can this really be achieved? We'd be remiss to leave out a discussion on condition monitoring systems, so we're bringing in an expert, Heinrich Dieck from Phoenix Contact. He's going to present some solutions for how operators can have a clear view of what's happening in the field. Particularly, how can owners or operators leverage aftermarket CMS to solve the challenge of a lack of transparency on operational issues? We'll talk about how each type of CMS can help aid in decision making and increase the profitability of your wind farms. We'll also touch on emerging trends in CMS as turbines grow larger and operational visibility becomes more critical to availability. Next, Anthony Martin from Aegis Insurance Services will present on the impact of evolving insurance requirements, including the mitigation of unforeseen risk versus known. We hope participants will come to see insurance as a partnership for the duration of the project. Insurance policies are not meant to be punitive. They're there to highlight areas of risk that will cost you dearly later if you don't pay attention. Project life cycle implications on insurance risk from pre-construction, design and, front end considerations through to COD, and then even end of warranty or end of asset life are going to be included in this discussion. We'll review disclosure clauses in contracts and what to watch out for. Next, Rosemary Barnes from Partelote Consulting will share her expertise on blades, including how to deal with issues that are becoming more costly and more problematic. That includes leading edge erosion, blade root failures, and transportation damage. The USA wind energy market has one of the most diverse arrays of wind turbine makes and models in the world. So, John McKay from ISP Renewable will provide an overview and look at some of the opportunities for asset life extension. This includes blade replacements, gearbox refurbishment, generator reconditioning, and more. I'll also sit down with an expert to talk about how the tax and budget bill changes complicate the task of repowering in order to requalify for production tax credits after the first 10 years in operation. For anyone planning an asset repowering, how do these proposed start of construction changes from the recent IRS notice influence the requalification requirements for PTCs? For anyone who's safe harbored equipment with the intent to repower, what do they need to do? And when do they need to do it? For anyone who hasn't yet safe harbored, what do they need to do? And by when? Do expiring tax credits impact any of the typical project finance options the industry has favored in the past, particularly when they're looking at an asset repowering? We'll also discuss balance of plant issues, particularly in the context of asset repowering. What do you need to do to maintain roads, transformers, inspections of foundations, and even leverage some technologies that can help facilitate visibility to things like bolt life and bolt wear? And we'll conclude with a presentation from Soren Kellenberger at CNC Onsite on up-tower repairs. We'll also have a panel to discuss how to use precision machining in a field environment to undertake repairs on yaw rings, blade roots, rotor locks, and more. We'll talk about leveraging robots to undertake leading-edge repairs. We'll also cover the latest developments in onboard cranes, including cost avoidance of full crane callouts and how to avoid large cranes for large capacity machines and taller towers. So you won't want to miss any of this, and you can register today to get this and much more from the Wind Summit event in Houston, Texas this October. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues from companies such as NextEra, EDPR, EDF, Pattern Energy, Clearway, Apex Clean Energy, and more. We'll hope to see you there. Well, thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. Follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel as well as your favorite audio platforms, and visit www.intelstor.com to join more than 200,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solutions. A full analysis of the renewable energy market in the USA is available to subscribers.